Hey everybody, welcome back to part 2 of the Makehuman modeling tutorial. In this section we'll be going over how to model this character's face. This is the end product, and I'm going to show you guys a couple tips and tricks, mostly focusing on the mouth, nose, and eyes. But yeah, so stick around to the end and then hit the like and subscribe if this video is helpful. Thank you guys. Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of the character creation tutorials. In this section we'll be doing some minor face sculpting to make it match this character a little bit more. So just so you guys are aware of my workflow, I do hair typically kind of toward the end after I pose and everything, because if you do the hair too early on, it makes it can just be a little taxing on your computer. I don't know if it's just because of the new hair system, which I do love that Blender has, but it can be a little taxing on my computer. So I save it till one of the very last steps that I do. So for now, let's just mess with the face a bit to try and get the face a little bit more how we want it. So I am going to just real quickly hide these eyelashes because we're going to be shaping those eyes. And let's change it back to sculpt mode. And let's see here. Jumping around a little bit there. Let's see what we can do with our grab brush. So on the eyes, it's very easy to accidentally grab inside, so you'll have to be kind of careful. So I can see that she has more of a slope downward for right here. So I wonder if maybe a different tool would be better, but that's looking pretty close, I think, especially once we do some of our texture painting. Then to me this is looking like a little slightly more up. Let's put this down a little bit. Let's put this down. That's looking pretty close. Alright. And she has a very heavy crease where her eyelid looks like it is. So let's shrink this way down and see what we can do there. Okay. Remember, we have our handy dandy smoothing tool. So it doesn't matter how much I do this. I might even pinch. I wonder if this would work if I pinch it. Nope, that's not quite right. We're gonna down the radius, and I think then it might work better. There we go. Yeah. Something kind of like that, it looks like to me. And I'm going to use my smooth, but I'm going to down the strength substantially because I do not want to undo all the work I just did. So let's touch that up a little bit, because that is one thing that the smooth brush can do if you have it set too high. It can destroy all of your hard work. That looks pretty good. Pretty close, I think, to the actual character's eyes. And I don't know about you guys, I'm having a hard time getting the vision of this character with the eyes like this. So I might try and just edit those real fast. So let's go to layout. And I wonder what we can do here. So let's go. So first off, I need to change this to alpha hashed. It'll make your eyes react a little bit more normally after you've imported them. As you can see, they're sparkling a little bit more, and they're not doing any of the strange back face culling, which you can probably check these boxes to kind of fix that anyway, but might as well just change it to alpha hashed. Let's actually change everything because I think all this stuff is kind of meant to be an alpha hashed. Okay, let's see what we can do for the nose. She looks like she has a very slopey nose that slopes right up there with the rest of her face. So let's go to, let's make the radius a bit bigger. Oh, I gotta select. Looks like I don't have my, there we go. So let's see if we can give her a very nice sloped nose. Pull it down there a little bit, maybe it looks like. And I think her nose looks a little tighter than this. So let's try and just tighten some of those features, and maybe it just seems to me that it would be a little less angular, or more angular in some of these spots. So I'm gonna just tighten some of those features up a bit. And that's pretty good. So here's a little trick for nostrils that helps your character quite a bit from what I've seen in the past for my characters. I'm going to take the, where'd you go? The crease brush. Turn the radius way down. We're going to kind of crease around the nostril and up. And this just really helps kind of sell your character a little bit more. Oh, too much. It's just one of those detail things that you don't really think about until you actually do it. And oh boy, can it make a large difference. Let's see what something kind of like that would look like, because she looks like she has that kind of look going. Let's also move this together a little bit, and then move this out again. I'll make this radius a smidge bigger. And let's see what magic can happen with our smooth brush. Kind of softens those a bit. Yeah, look at that. So I haven't really tried too much of this nose stuff that I'm doing, but I think that that is looking pretty close to her style of nose. Just kind of getting rid of some of those other areas. So next thing I think I want to touch on, because the thing that's honestly going to take me the longest is those lips. I can already tell. I'm not super good at lips, so I think the next thing I want to touch on, because I'm pretty happy with how everything else is going, is those cheekbones. So I'm going to take a look at those cheekbones, and I think we're gonna, I liked this blob, so let's see if that's a little too powerful to just blob a couple of cheekbones onto her. Nothing too crazy. I think that might be a good amount actually with our legendary smooth brush. It just softens it so it's a little less obvious. And I think we got some good cheeks there. So I can already tell she has a very pointy, like super pointy face. So I'm going to up the radius on this. I'm just going to kind of sharpen some of these features a bit. Yeah, there's the mouth. We're going to take it in a bit. She's got kind of a smile. We'll give her that here in a second. And her chin is kind of out there. It's not far out there, but it's out there. Something kind of like that, to me, is looking really close, roughly, to her general look. And guess what brush we're going to grab next, now that we've made a couple changes? Yep, you probably guessed it. It's legendary. It's the smooth brush. Just want to make sure we didn't overdo it on any of these areas. And I'm liking what I am seeing so far of this. I think there's a little bit of her jaw that I might touch up just a hair. That looks very close. Okay. Now let's just do it. Let's cut the crap. It's time for the lips. Although I do see I'm not cutting the crap. Let's do a little bit, a little too strong. Let's try and just do a gentle eye blend right here, because I can see that this young lady has some very poofy eyes. So let's see. That's not bad. And then I think the next step is our legendary smooth brush. Let's try and just smooth right below that, because we don't want to get rid of too much of that detail that we just added there. So let's smooth right below and then slowly leak onto it a little bit. And there we go. Now we've got some pretty nice looking eyelids there. You can see I think we need to tweak just a hair on the eyelids. So one thing is, I think they need to be a smidge closer together on these corners. Okay, so we kind of have fixed that. I think I did something I'm not happy with. Let's try that. Let's move this out a bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, now let's go over her mouth here. So she has her lips super close together with a very subtle smile. So I think we're going to try and use this pinch brush and see if we can get these lips all the way together. Yep. So that is pretty close. Let's get them all the way together if we can. Okay. So now her lips are very close. And let's take our... I find that a lot of the times I like the elastic deform, but sometimes it's not quite powerful enough. So that was our snake hook brush, and it looks good, but probably a little too strong. That's closer, but I think it's still a smidge too strong. Maybe once we take our smooth brush, though, smooth some of those features out, it won't look too bad. That's not bad. Let's see. So with lips are always tough for me. Because she clearly has some very pouty lips. So what I first think you need to do is define the corners of the lips a little bit more accurately. So I'm just going to try and get these so they're as close to that my image over there as I can. Something kind of like that, I think, for the bottom lip. And this is just defining the borders. Once you have defined the borders, a little big probably, but it's not bad. Let's move everything up a little bit. Okay. I can already tell we're going to need to move a couple of these features down. She does definitely have. Okay, let's try messing with something like that. So I'm going to take that same brush I just had and just gently kind of go over that. And you can see our problem we're having. So there's just a little flat. But I think our overall smile that we're kind of trying to go for is sort of in there. Let's try and drag this down a bit like that. I think that gets us a little closer. Then she has a little bit of a thing that goes over. All using Makehuman. I know that gets old hearing, but it's pretty amazing what's possible. So I'm going to grab my inflate brush, and I'm going to try and I'm going to take the strength down. I'm just going to try and inflate this upper lip. And I'm losing a little bit of the detail, so watch out for that. We can't make these lips too big, because we don't want to lose that. So I'm going to try a different angle to see if that will help me. Okay, let's see if that helped. That might have helped a little bit. So she has a unique kind of center thing, actually, I can see. So let's grab this and let's try and do something right here. And let's do it pretty thick just to give us something to work with. Yeah. And then now we're just gonna, maybe I'll try blobbing it. The blob has been working. Blobbing it up. Nope, don't like the blob. Okay, we're gonna try blobbing before we do the other thing. No, the blob is just too powerful. Okay. Like I said, guys, lips are a mother for me in particular. I'm getting a rough idea that her lips are something like this. But let's smooth that top piece out quite a bit. Let's just go in here and smooth that. Okay. I think we're getting close. So now, at this point, I'm going to try taking just the draw brush and just adding the other bits of dimensions that I kind of need in these other areas, just manually. And I might have to re-go through and define some of the other features, but I think this will get us pretty close to what we need. All right, let's see what happens when I do take the smooth brush, and I'm going to try and just touch on this. Oh yeah, that's kind of a lip right there. Oh, this is fascinating. Pretty happy with that. All right, I'm going to redefine the edges just a hair on this, just because I don't want to lose anything here. So we're not going to do much, just a super subtle redefine there. Well, there you have it. There's the top lip. And it does look like it almost goes over a little bit. Is that crazy? So I'm going to try and grab this and just pull this down a smidge over her other lip, her bottom lip. Let's go big, and then let's smooth it out. Oh my gosh, the smooth brushes. Man's best friend. That looks pretty good. I think we kind of have captured the lips. Let's smooth it just a smidge more. I don't want it to be too much. All right, I'm very happy so far with those lips. So now, let's try and do the bottom lip super pouty, I think. Like something very pouty. So what we did was we took the draw brush and we just smoothed it. So let's do that again. Let's up the strength. And the radius. No, not that much. How are we looking from? Let's just add it right here because we'll work our way right from the middle. I can tell she needs a little bit more on the sides. Okay. So her lower lip doesn't look quite as complicated as her top lip. So I might just give it definition again. Maybe give it a little bit more. But that looks pretty good. I feel like maybe the side right here could use more. Okay. I don't even know how much more definition we need to give that. Let's be careful with our smooth brush so we don't destroy this lower part of the lip. Okay. And I think there is one slight thing I want to do. I'm going to lower this just a smidge to be a more... She's just straight up smiling in this one, but looks like such a subtle smile to me, if it's even a smile. So you kind of have to wonder, is she smiling? Then let's sharpen this just a hair. I don't know if it did anything. All right. Okay, I think we, you know what? I do see a little something right there. So to me, it looks as though right here she has a little bit of a thing on her lip, and that maybe it's dragged up slightly like this. Yeah. Let's try our smooth. Smooth that out just a hair. I don't know if she had that or not. She's looking less like her to me. So, let's just grab that and leave it down there. And I guess, well, let's just go back because we don't want to risk too much here. Let's go smooth, super subtle. Okay. And I think those lips on the bottom are a little too bulgy, so let's get in. She looks pretty good. I'm going to save this. I think that these nostrils are a little closer. Yes. Okay. Let's save that. Let's see what we're looking like with shadows. And to me, that looks pretty good. You know what's going to be a weird thing? These massive ears. I forgot about those. Let's try and do those. I think I might have to do something like that and just try and fix it up. Let's see if we can help it a little bit though. But yeah, I think that we're going to do something roughly like that. They're a little bit actually kind of more like that. There we go. That's kind of a fantasy elf ear. So, of course, this is a lot of flesh with it. So let's try and move that down a smidge to see if we can make these a little bit more normal. As normal as elven ears can be. So let's see. I think already, there we go. And I think we're going to have to move on to a different brush for the next portion. Let's see. Those are looking pretty close to the original. I think that they're probably further back though, like this. Like to me, it looks like they you grab them and you just something along those lines. You know, they're a little, Yoda-y. But I think that's okay. I think that's kind of nice, actually, that they're a little forward like that. And before we take the legendary smooth brush, let's put a crease right in here to see if we can actually separate the ear from the skull a bit. And I'm guessing they still have kind of earlobes, so let's give them somewhat of an earlobe. And then let's take the legendary smooth brush. Let's smooth this whole thing out quite a bit because we just did a lot of geometry editing. And I think that our baby's going to want to be smoothed out a little bit. Just right there, too. I'm pretty happy with those ears. I think I need to make them just so they're a smidge more hollow. So I'm going to try a couple different things. I think the best thing we'll do is just draw inside of them. I'm holding control. I'm drawing inside of the ear to hollow it out more. And let's go. So it's actually in there, in the head. So we're kind of getting something that looks like an ear here. A mythical ear. Let's try and see if we can fix that a little bit. So now I can see she has some interesting cartilage right here that kind of just goes up. It looks like it just goes, it swoops. Whew, this is going to be tough. Let's up our strength. Something along those lines. And this is where you can see some of the limitations. When you have to up, I've never actually had to use a Makehuman model and alter it quite this much. So when it comes to trying to keep the topology in order, we are hitting our limits. But even with that, I think we have a pretty good looking ear, even considering all of the editing we've had to do to the topology of this. But yeah, that's pretty good. Let's see what that looks like in more of a natural lighting sense. Yes, kind of a Dobby vibe. You know, I get the sense. This kills me because I just did so much to him. I get the sense that these are down. They look a little bit more droopy. And possibly this is up. And let's take this up. I feel like I just want to see there. Let's try something kind of like that for now. I don't know if droopy's the way to go. Don't want to. Let's undo a lot of stuff. Let's just. Okay, I am going to still take this up because that's, I think, is the best portrayal that I can see that she has. But other than that, there we go. I think that helps it not be quite as Dobby-y. And now let's droop it just a hair. Then we're going to have to smooth all this again. And I think it needs some thickness in the back. Let's give it some. Okay, and let's take this, move this back a smidge. Alright, let's see what we can do with the legendary smooth brush. Let's just try and just hit this a little bit, because with the lack of geometry we have here, we're getting close to the limits. That looks pretty good. How do we feel? That looks like a pretty decent ear. Not perfect, but you know, I don't think it's that bad. I think once we do some texturing on this lady, she'll be looking pretty good. Her ear does look lower than that, so curses. Okay. Not too low, just something like that. Let's inflate some parts of this just to give it a little bit more cartilage. Oh, I can't even see where that was that I worked on. I think it's right here. Oh yeah, that's good to inflate. Okay, now let's take the legendary smooth brush and just hit a couple of these, just barely. And go over, just nudging them. Oh, at last, I think we've done it. That, I think, is as close. Curse you. I keep noticing little things. Like now, I'm looking at those ears, and they're kind of thin. They don't really have. Oh, they don't really have much. Okay, let's try and get them so it's more. And to me, it looks a little odd how it's like. I think I messed with the body there. Let's get these. All right, right, guys. Isn't that like perfect? I feel like I must be close at least. Let's make sure I didn't mess up the face. I think the face still looks pretty good. So, oh, that was a nightmare. Okay, so now we're gonna do something that's kind of a little bit more fun. Now we've done her face. I'm fairly satisfied. I think that's pretty close without adding actual hair and stuff, which is a little bit later. So let's go to layout and let's actually make her look, you know, like a a little bit more like a person. Hey guys, congratulations on making it to the end of part 2 of the face sculpting tutorial. I hope you guys' characters are ending up awesome, and I'm proud of you guys for making it this far. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and check out some of the other videos that might help you with your character creations. Thanks again, guys. Have a good one.